Right now, there's no shortage of affordable Hall effect keyboards that offer great performance for the price. Adjustable actuation, rapid trigger, SOCD, all that stuff has become pretty accessible lately. But if you're trying to push for the absolute best performance and experience possible, value kind of stops being the main priority. I've always heard great things about Womier being a premium brand that makes endgame level keyboards, and the SK75 TMR kind of proved that to me. It feels like it was designed with the goal of making a premium product that's not focused on cost, but more around delivering the best features, performance, build quality, user experience, and sound profile it can. Sure, you can get something that works really well for a lot less, but this is meant to be a kind of grail type board that goes beyond just being a tool, something you're actually proud of that becomes part of your desktop setup that you genuinely enjoy looking at and using every day. So let's take a closer look at the SK75 TMR and see what makes it feel a little bit more special. Alright, in the box you get a set of extra Womier Void TMR switches, a USB-C cable, a 2.4 GHz wireless dongle, a keycap and switch puller, and a set of colored accent keycaps for your WASD keys, along with some Mac-specific keycaps for Apple users. Personally, I like the look with the accented keys a lot more than the stock all-white setup. I think it just gives the board a bit of extra pop, so I left it on. Right off the bat, you can tell this is a pretty dense board. The SK75 TMR comes in right around 4.5 pounds, which is noticeably heavier than most gaming-focused magnetic keyboards in this price range. It genuinely feels like a brick. Once you set it down, it's not going anywhere. You've got a full aluminum chassis, an FR4 plate, and a top mount structure underneath, so it ends up feeling much closer to a custom keyboard than something built purely for competitive gaming. It also comes with cherry profile double shot PBT keycaps and south facing RGB, along with this mirrored weight on the back that looks really nice, even though most of the time you're never going to see it. Still, I appreciate the design effort. The proportions are super clean with a minimalist layout and hidden secondary functions under the keys. The case has beveled edges with rounded corners. It's got really subtle touches, but they go a long way in making the standard looking design feel much more refined once you take a closer look. The switches also have built-in LED diffusers, so the RGB comes through really smooth and even, adding some nice visual accent when they're on. I've got the white version here, and even compared to other whiteboards I own, this one is icy. It's like bright Arctic white. That's the best way I can describe it. The blue legends on the keycaps make it look even cleaner. It's just a simple classic design, but the attention to detail really helps this board stand out to me. Instead of traditional Hall effect sensing, this board uses TMR or tunneling magnetoresistance. Without getting too technical, TMR is designed to improve sensing stability and reduce signal noise compared to standard Hall effect implementations. Basically, that means more consistent actuation points, less input jitter, and more accurate tracking when you're making really small movement adjustments. You can adjust actuation anywhere from 0.1 millimeters to 3.5 millimeters, and combine that with rapid trigger to dynamically reset keys based on travel instead of fixed reset points. For FPS games, especially something like Tarkov where movement consistency actually matters, this can make strafing and counter-strafing and movement in general feel noticeably tighter. One of the coolest things about this board is that it supports both magnetic and standard mechanical switches on the same PCB. Not a lot of boards have this feature right now. So you can run magnetic switches on your gaming keys like the WASD, shift control, spacebar, whatever you use for your games, and then use traditional mechanical switches everywhere else. That means you can still get rapid trigger and adjustable actuation where it really matters, but still keep a more tactile or satisfying feel for typing in everyday use. If you're using the same board for gaming, editing, or just daily productivity, this kind of hybrid setup is new, but actually makes a lot of sense. The SK75 TMR ships with Womier's Void magnetic switches. These are custom made by Womier in-house. They use a full POM housing and stem. There's some internal dampening built in here, and the top mount structure helps keep the bottom mount feel consistent without introducing any of that hollow or metallic resonance you sometimes get with Hall effect boards. The result is a deeper sound profile and a smoother, more predictable bottom mount, which makes this way more usable as an all-day board as well as a gaming board. I would put it on the clacky side, but it's got like a super refined sound profile, almost like marble hitting marble. That's the feeling it gives me. I don't know if you'll hear the same thing, but to me that's what it reminds me of in my head. Here's a quick sound test so you can hear for yourself. In terms of performance, this board supports 8K polling in both wired and 2.4 GHz wireless modes. Combined with rapid trigger, snap key, SOCD, all the features, these allow for faster mid-actuation resets and more precise directional inputs. Basically, that means cleaner AD strafing, faster input resets, more consistent movement timing during recoil control or peak shooting. It just makes movement feel very clean and super responsive. And the fact that you can get that level of responsiveness wirelessly is a huge plus. A lot of magnetic boards with good performance are available, but not a lot of them are wireless, so that's a pretty nice feature to have. As I mentioned earlier, you can go wireless, but you can also use Bluetooth or USB-C. We've got full tri-mode connectivity here. The way you turn on the wireless mode is so cool. You have to take the caps lock key off, and there's an on-off switch hidden under that key. I really like that. It's a small thing, but just another cool feature about this board. Inside is an 8000 milliamp hour battery, which should last you a while, even with some of the performance features and RGB enabled. You can also pair it to multiple devices over Bluetooth if you're switching between setups throughout the day. The web-based software gives you access to one-click calibration, per-key actuation adjustment, RGB effects, macros, and all of your magnetic switch features like rapid trigger, DKS, snap key, SOCD, all that good stuff. So you can fine-tune how each key behaves depending on what you're using the board for. So who is the SK75 TMR really for? At around $160, you're getting an aluminum case, TMR sensing, 8K wireless polling, and hybrid hot swap support. This puts it in a pretty interesting spot compared to most gaming-focused magnetic boards, especially ones that sacrifice typing feel for raw performance. If you care about how your keyboard feels and sounds just as much as how it performs in-game, this is definitely aimed at you. This makes a lot of sense for people who game but also spend a ton of time typing, whether that's managing inventory in Tarkov, chatting in Discord, or working in OBS and Premiere between runs. It's also great if you're putting together a clean, quiet setup for streaming or content creation, because the deeper sound profile is a bit less distracting on mic than your typical gaming keyboard. Now, if you care about raw competitive input and really don't care about typing feel or acoustics, you can absolutely get something that works well for less. But this is more about the full experience, not just performance. Alright guys, that's all I've got for this one. If this helped you make a buying decision, please consider using the affiliate link down below, as it really helps support the channel. It helps me to continue bringing you videos like this. Don't forget to like and sub so you don't miss the next keyboard review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.